I'm amazed. And I'm amazed that I didn't talk actually more about my OCs. I guess, to be fair, there isn't really too much. I think right now they're kind of just... I don't know. I don't want to actually talk about their stories, their backstories, because, like... Sorry. I don't know. A lot of it's still in development. Like, I wrote I drew one comic today with said Rat OC, which is not going to go up for a very long time until I'm comfortable with putting up things from that multiverse. I just drew one comic that I basically just had an idea of how everything's gonna go, you know, and I was like, yeah, I really want to draw this out. But I don't really know much else of how everything happens in that universe. Definitely, it's a whole deal. In any case, in other news, Star Citizen Ship Showdown is a thing that's going on, and good lord, let me see if I can remember off the top of my head what everything was. Sorry, I'm gonna have to... wait 1 second while I consume nutrients, nourishment. If I remember correctly, the ships for Ship Showdown were the Redeemer versus the Gladius, the Redeemer versus the Gladius, the Scorpius versus the Vanguard, I think the 600i versus the Terrapin, the 400i versus the Caterpillar, oh, and I think I genuinely can't, sorry, I'm just thinking, I can't remember the haulers. Let's see, there was the Freelancer Max. Oh, jeez. What was it? There was the Freelancer Max, the Raft. Shoot. Ah, shit, I can't remember. I do remember that the last category was the Avenger versus the Eclipse, and the Pisces versus the Mule. And I'll try and remember what the other ones were. Oh, the Star Runner versus the Cutlass. Right, the Star Runner versus the Cutlass. Yeah, how could I forget? So, the Gladius and the Redeemer are two completely different ships. Like, one is a gunship, one is a light fighter. There are people who are diehard fans of the Redeemer. There are people who are diehard fans of the Gladius. I'm neither. I kind of like the Redeemer in terms of its nutcracker wings, but I really don't care, and I would probably go with the Gladius because I know right now it's just better. And then the Scorpius versus the Vanguard is a heavy fighter versus a heavy fighter, but it's a anti-fighter heavy fighter, a dueling heavy fighter in the Scorpius versus a escort fighter in the Vanguard, specifically the Warden. And I don't know. I haven't flown the Scorpius. I don't think people particularly... I think people aren't necessarily huge fans of it, because the turret UI is not the greatest. But the Vanguard, like, you can't go fully gimbaled, so like that automatically just gives me a no. I don't want to, I really like the look of the ship, but I really do not mechanically like the ship because you can't have full gimbals. And that's more of a personal problem, I suppose. But also, if you want to go full fixed, then you're gonna have like one size 5, and it's just gonna be weird. It's just gonna be weird. I mean, I guess it works, maybe, kind of, sort of, but it's just weird. Let's see. The 600i versus the Terrapin is a cruel matchup because, like, the Terrapin has some diehard fans as well, and I think it is cool. I really do think it's a cool ship, but the 600i is amazing. And then the 400i versus the Carrack is an even crueler thing, I think, anyway. The Carrack's gonna win. Absolutely, 100%. Even though the 400i is a weird ship, I like it. I really do like it, but it's more of like just a ship for, you know, going around the verse with a couple of friends and not necessarily being a great ship at anything. You know, and it would be nice if there was like a civilian version of that. You know, you can do probably just about anything with it if you put your mind to it, but it's not necessarily the best thing. So that's the whole deal. The Cutlass versus the Star Runner, I think, is actually a really good matchup, because the Star Runner has some legit problems. So I would have to go with the Cutlass Black, but hot damn, yeah, no, like that's a decent matchup, I think. And then what was the Freelancer versus the Raft? I don't care. The Freelancer Max versus the Raft. Yeah, no, actually, it is a good trade-off. I mean, or a good comparison, because the Raft's interior is like actually kind of like really nice, whereas the Freelancer is old, and it carries more cargo than the Raft, but also the Raft has its specialized cargo containers, or its specialized system of dealing with, you know, standard cargo containers, so it's going to be faster offloading, onloading, but that isn't a thing yet, but it will be soon-ish, trademark-ish, but, you know, I guess that is a good one. The Avenger versus the Eclipse. A jack of all trades second tier starter versus a stealth bomber or a stealth torpedo launcher. Like, what? And then the last one was the Pisces versus the Mule. And I mean, also, like, obviously the Avenger is way more influential of a ship. The Pisces versus the Mule. I haven't driven the Mule around. You know, unfortunate case of how the hell am I supposed to drive around a Mule? There's no way to buy it in game. The only way would be to, you know, ask somebody who has one. Even then, why the hell would I want to go drive around a Mule? Soon enough, like, I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know. It is a cool vehicle potential. It is a cool potential vehicle, but the Pisces is the cheapest. Is not the cheapest, but like, you can have, you know, you have seats for friends, you have space for cargo. It's cheap. It has a quantum drive. It's like the first ship I would say anybody should pick up if they need a small little ship just to get them around place to place. And like, I will stand by that. The Pisces, like, I don't know, of all of the ships, I'd love for the Pisces, the Avenger. Well, I guess I'd love for the Pisces, the Pisces, the Cutlass Black. And let's say the Scorpius. Let's say the Scorpius. And I would personally prefer the 600i to win. Maybe the 400. I think the 400's good. I think the 600i, it's not great right now, but it's what it's been hyped up to be with the remake or with the gold pass. Sounds really good. So like, it's definitely going to be up there. But yeah, so yeah, Scorpius, 400 or 600, Cutlass and Pisces, definitely. Or Avenger. I wouldn't be upset if the Avenger made it, but the Pisces has served me very well, so, you know.